Hey everyone, I'm Almar of almarsguides.com, and this is my Destroyer Mobs farming guide for Guild Wars 2. Now these are the lower level Destroyer Mobs, and they can be found in the Dominion killing zone of Kessex Hills. That's located east of Overlake Haven Waypoint, which is in pretty much the southeastern portion of Kessex Hills. Now it's a very rare drop off of these mobs, but pretty much one of the main reasons I decided to document this location is because these mobs have a chance of dropping the lower end destroyer materials for trade skills. You can eventually make them all the way up to destroyer cores and destroyer lodestones, but it would cost way too much money and just not be that worth it. However, you can use the lower end destroyer mats. You can sell them on the auction house or really do anything you want with them, and they are quite valuable. So, let's take a look at this farming location. Here, around the volcano-like area, you're going to be killing all of the destroyer mobs here. Pretty much every destroyer mob here is going to die by your hands. They hit very hard, and they are extremely squishy, so they kind of go to the extremes of both of that spectrum. While you will be able to kill them really fast, they will be able to kill you very fast. And for any classes that use fire damage, these are immune to burning damage, which will be your damage over time effect with your fire spell. So if you're a fire caster, sorry, but you're going to have to find somewhere else to farm. Otherwise, you're going to be like banging your head up against the wall with how annoying these things are to kill. There's tons of destroyer mobs around here. That's definitely something that is worth mentioning for this farming location. Really, there are tons of destroyer mobs around here. You're never ever really going to run out of the ones to kill. Also, there's a very, very frequent event that happens in this area called Collapse the Destroyer Fissure. It happens about once every 10 minutes after you destroy the Destroyer Fissure in the middle of the volcano-like area, and it'll just respawn again for it gives a decent amount of experience, karma, and money at the same time. It really adds up and really actually helps you make a lot of experience here, quite a bit. I'd say you'll probably get at least 2 to 3 levels an hour from farming here, and about 25 to, or actually more than 25, but about like 45 silver an hour maybe. It really depends on how many unidentified dies you get, since they're the really big money makers at such a low level. Now, the main loot we're going to be getting here, I'm not going to mention the rare loot like unidentified dies and stuff like that. I'm just going to go over the really main loot that you're going to be finding very frequently from farming here. You're going to find tiny claws. That's going to be the most common material you're going to find crafting material, I should say, as well as small claws, which are going to be pretty common as well. You're also going to find brittle clumps of ore, which are quite uncommon. They're salvage material. You want to salvage them into copper ore, or just sell them as the brittle clump of ore on the auction house, depending on what you want to do. Usually when it comes time to sell the salvage materials, there's something that's very worth keeping in mind. Usually, now I'm not saying always, but usually when it comes time to sell these salvage materials, selling one, say, brittle clump of ore will sell for 1.5 of whatever it salvages into. And if you manage to get lucky enough to salvage 2 items from it, you make money. 3 items, you pretty much double how much you would have made. It's a gamble, and a lot of people might not like that gamble, so it's up to you to determine whether or not you want to salvage it or just sell it as the base item on the auction house. Also, you're going to be able to gather from this area softwood logs and iron ore, neither of which will make you as much money as actually farming the mobs and getting the other stuff from here, and also nothing will make you as much money as getting the unidentified dies from this area, but all of these are definitely worth mentioning because they will contribute to your overall hourly income from farming in this location. Aside from that, there's only a few more things worth mentioning. One is Magic Find food. I recommend using blueberry tarts if you're below level 25. They are the lowest level Magic Find food in the game, and since the destroyer mobs are only level 20, you might not be able to use clam cakes yet, or might not be able to use them at all depending on what level you leave this location. The clam cakes require level 25 plus, and obviously will only benefit your character if you are 25 plus and can use them. Otherwise, use blueberry tarts. Aside from that, really the only other thing worth mentioning, or I can mention about this farming location, is, well, definitely if you're also stacking Magic Find, use a Sigil of Luck on your weapon. They'll give you a point percentage of Magic Find with each kill. And also, diminishing returns are one of the last things I can mention about this farming location. Diminishing returns in Guild Wars 2 work in a very specific way. If you farm the same mobs in the same location for too long, it kicks in a diminishing return. And what that does is decrease the amount of loot you gain from farming the same mobs over a long period of time to discourage botters and stuff. If you hit diminishing returns, just switch farming locations, go do quests, go do something else in the meantime. Aside from that, that's really all there is to say about this farming location. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, like, comment, and subscribe, and all of that fun stuff. I'll catch you guys around, and good luck and happy hunting.